Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you the difference between a blondie and a brownie because they get asked this question so much. So the main difference between a blondie and a brownie are the ratio of ingredients. The ingredients are almost exactly the same, but the ratios are completely different. So we start with butter, sugar, flour, eggs, salt, and baking powder. For the brownies, I'm going to start by melting the butter and the sugar the butter and the chocolate in a double boiler. I just want to make sure it's super smooth, no lumps of chocolate or anything. Then by hand, I'm going to add my brown sugar and whisk that in until it's nice and smooth and combined. And I'm using my Material Kitchen whisk, which I absolutely adore because it doesn't get those little chunks of things stuck in the whisk. You guys will have to check them out. Material Kitchen, super cool brand and line of products. So then I'm gonna add the eggs. You can whisk your eggs ahead of time or you can add them whole, it doesn't matter, but you just wanna make sure it's fully incorporated before you start adding any of your other ingredients and that they're room temperature. Room temperature eggs are very important. Eggs are important in general in a recipe because they contain about, the yolk contains about 10% of lecithin, which is a lipid that helps to emulsify or bind complex mixtures of ingredients like cake batters and such. So now I'm going to add the flour, baking powder, and salt. And I know that there's a lot going on in the industry for the past few years about gluten, and I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. So gluten is one of the three main structure builders in baked goods, the other two being eggs and starches. And gluten is the most complex to control. Gluten is developed when you mix water and flour together, and the proteins, namely the glutenin and the gliadin, absorb the water and swell. And then when you expose it to oxygen, it gets a little stronger. So the more you mix something that already has flour in it, the stronger it's going to get. And with a brownie, you don't want it to be super strong. So the next step would be to spray your sheet pan, put the parchment down, then spray it again. That's a pastry chef life hack. It will save you tons of time. And that's something you should do for everything. So now for the blondies, I have my butter and my sugar, my brown sugar, in the stand mixer, and I'm gonna add the eggs, room temperature eggs again, and just make sure that my bowl is scraped really well and combine them. I'm gonna add the flour, baking powder, and salt. And before that's done mixing fully, I'm gonna add the chocolate chips because again, don't want to develop too much gluten for a brownie. If you're making bread or anything else, develop all the gluten that you can. But for a brownie or a blondie, you kind of want as less gluten as possible. So after everything's baked, I seamlessly unmold it. Top some brownies with some powdered sugar. I'm sure I ate a few of those end pieces. If you watch my mouth, you can see I'm chewing on something. And then I have my blondies, which I top with a caramel ganache. It's a salted caramel ganache that cooks for forever. And then I put some pink Himalayan sea salt, some toasted pecans, and then I cut them up. I had a lady one time comment on one of my pictures and ask where were my gloves, and I just have to, Miss Petty has to address that. I don't wear gloves in any of my photo shoots because it just looks bad. But however, when I'm making actual product, I am super strict about my cleaning and health standards. So that's how you make a brownie, and that's how you make a blondie. I mean, both are good. However, the blondie, I just prefer it over anything else. Thank you guys for watching.